Alright, and this is my speedrun of Samurai Shodown for the Sega Game Gear. Now, this wasn't really hard to do, it only took me about 5 attempts to pull off, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone got a better time than the time I got on this speedrun. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it, and the time starts when I select my character, which is going to be Genon. And when you see the first round, you'll know why Genon is ridiculously strong in this game. So yeah, I'm going to explain, well, I don't really have to explain the strategy, you'll see it for yourself in a bit, so check this out. So the match begins, and what you want to do here is just grab the opponent and mash the buttons. So I should do that soon. There we go, you just mash the buttons and look at that health bar. But more importantly, for some reason, grabs in this game can actually stun. It says Genon's grab is ridiculously overpowered in this game. You can just grab them once, mash the buttons to get more damage in. Then they get up dazed, and if their health is low enough, you can just finish them with a heavy slash. I should say power slash. It's done by pressing button 1 plus 2. Or you can just do the grab again, but the grab animation does take a little bit more time away. Because, you know, it's going through the whole animation while the game is slowing down from the opponent being defeated. And yeah, this is the strat for the entire playthrough. It's really simple. It's really cheap. And if it doesn't defeat them, you can just do that move, which is forward, down, forward, plus 1. And you can do the heavy version too. It's the same motion but with both buttons, but it sends you a bit like further away. Either or works. But yeah, that is pretty much what I'm going to do for the entire run. You just want to get close, grab them by holding forward and pressing button 1, mash the buttons to get more damage, and then they should get up dizzy, and that's when you either do that again or just finish them with a power slash, which is both buttons. And it's really, really ridiculous. I don't know, like, it's so broken. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is, like, I thought the Galford glitch was bad enough, but this is just ridiculous, man. But if you're trying to speedrun this game, this is one of, if not the fastest way to get through it. Because it's just one grab and then one more attack. Of course, that's assuming you can pull off the grab. Because the speedrun isn't perfect. Even though I didn't lose a round in this playthrough, there are definitely maybe one or like a few rounds where like it took way too long for me to actually like get to grab the opponent. I think there was even a round where I didn't even grab them. I just defeated them with just nothing but power slashes. Maybe that will happen later. But yeah, there's not too much I can say, so I might as well like talk about the game and like some of the aspects, because I am this is after I finish the GameFAQs guide for it. I am going to be uploading that soon, maybe, I want to say by the weekend at least, once I finish up the editing. But yeah, Samurai Shodown on the Game Gear. Speedrunning it is kind of screwed up. If you're not aware, Samurai Shodown is all about, wow, she got dizzy really quick that time. Usually the CPU stayed dazed for like a few seconds, but that was the one rare time where they actually got out of it fast. So yeah, Samurai Shodown is a game about accurate strikes. Obviously you want to hit like, it's all about hitting that big button and watching the life bar melt, you know? But for the case of speedrunning it, you have two options. One, you can either pick a character with big damage, which is just like using power slashes and like landing the hit. And usually after 1 or 2 hits they're done, or at least they're stunned I should say. Or you can just grab with Genon. So I did watch some other videos of this game. Obviously you can't just get through it by using power slashes and whatnot. But after me making a guide on this and experimenting with each character to see just how fast like each character can beat the game. I didn't finish the game with every character, but I was just doing a few matches with each because I figured, okay, well, this game doesn't look that hard to speedrun. There's only 10 characters in total, with Amaska being the last, and like even though this is played on the hardest difficulty available, which is hard mode, it's not that hard. Like, if you know what you're doing, I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, like, this game is not that bad. It's one of the more acceptable AIs I've faced against in quite a while. At least compared to the Genesis version, because oh man, they be doing some really cheap nonsense in that. And they still do that here, but it's nowhere near as bad. And what else there is to talk about? Oh yeah, so I guess one of my I probably might end up, I have a feeling that when I do commentate over the guide I'm making, it might end up sounding similar to this, but Yeah, another thing about this port, there are no combos because characters are invincible during hit stun. So like, this actually hurts a lot of moves like Charlotte's Splash Fount, the move where she goes forward and like does the multiple stabs. And which is weird because in the Genesis version, there are combos. I even made a combo video for that one. And Charlotte's Splash Fount in the Genesis version was ridiculously strong because it had slow startup, so it was hard to land. But when you did land it, it did like a ridiculous amount of damage, it stunned, and then you just did it again and you win the match. That is not the case in this version. Splash Fount, if you get hit by the first hit, you can just block immediately after, and because there's barely any pushback on it, she's just wide open. And I think when I get up to Charlotte in the speedrun, you actually see me take advantage of that weakness because she will do it and then like she's close enough for me to grab her out of the move. Alright, what else to say about this port? I mean, okay, as cheap as this looks, as like, you might think this is like a bad game or something, like, oh, this looks so cheap and boring. It is, but I feel like if you just play it normally, like just a casual playthrough, this game's fine. Like, it's actually not that bad. Obviously, speedrunning it is, and I don't know, like speedrunning fighting games in general, it's a weird thing. It really depends on the fighting game because they're just, like, for example, the last speedrun I did was Primal Rage on the Sega Genesis, and that game was really hard. But I still found it interesting to like find the strats against the CPU, finding the optimal combos to do. Some of them were pretty difficult to do at times. I think, like, if I go back to the game now, I'm gonna forget how to do them, and I probably have to like refresh my memory and practice a bit to like remember how I did those combos. But yeah, like Primal Rage, it was hard, but it was somewhat fun to find the strategies for each opponent and like actually pulling off the combos. Whereas trying to speedrun this game is like, you just walk up to them and just grab. You can see me actually missing a lot of grabs here. And that's like, and it's stuff like that where I think, yeah, he definitely wasn't close enough for me to finish him with a power slash. It's aspects like that why I think, so like, this run is far from like optimal or perfect. Like, you know, like, the most optimal way to win would be to like grab them within the first like 3 seconds and then like finish them for power slash or something. Because some of the reasons why I don't do as much damage with the grab is because sometimes I don't expect it. Because once the grab happens, you have to match the buttons to get the extra damage, and if you're a bit slow on it, you won't do as like, look right there, that was like optimal. I did just enough so that power slash actually defeats them. But there are times where like the grab actually does happen and I'm not ready for it, so I mash a bit too late, and they have like a bit more life left over in that the power slash doesn't finish them off. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have like that much else to say. Well, there's a bit more I want to say, but really I think I'll save that for the guide. I think I pretty much said everything I had to say about the speedrun. So yeah, I hope you, but there's not much to it left, there's only about like 4 minutes left, but I hope you enjoy the rest of the speedrun, and hopefully I'll see you when I get to the guide.